Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. Do you remember mixtapes? Used to love mixtapes. Oh yeah, can't beat it. Good old-fashioned cassette. From a cassette to Lacazette. Let's talk the Arsenal experienced players. Here we go. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. To those of you, and most of you who will be listening on replay because there's a lot of football going on tonight, we hope you enjoy the show. Welcoming back my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies at ease. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sophie's going to try and perform miracles tonight. Sophie, who am I? Third person? What the heck just happened there? I never do shit like that, but I just did, I guess. I am going to try and keep this to a half-hour show tonight, and if I do, it's going to be a miracle, and you guys will all owe me a gift. I'm going to try and get everyone out so they can go watch the football. Other than the FA Cup, there's no Champions League tonight, is there, Kev?
No, not that. No.
Right. And you got a keen eye on that Stoke game right now?
Yep, it's 0-0 at the moment. 30 minutes gone.
30 minutes gone. Okay, everyone, let's do some housekeeping very, very quickly here. As you know, the Thierry Henry shirt is up for grabs now. I'll give away a free ticket tomorrow. But don't waste time because there's really hardly any tickets left. Go to footballprizes.co.uk and grab yours today. Now, as part of our new Tuesday shows, we're going to be featuring our Talented Gooners. You guys love that show. And tonight I was going to play a very short video of Francesca Sene's art that she had put together, a wonderful mural of a whole bunch of Arsenal legends. Unfortunately, the video has a technical issue, so I will be playing that live tomorrow night. In the meantime, go over to Sene Sketches, that's at SENE Sketches, on Instagram and on Twitter to check her work. And let me tell you something, you guys are going to love this. Kev, she's a wonderful gooner as well. Loves her art and is doing a lot of stuff in the Arsenal community. And as you know, we love to promote our talented gooners as well. So we'll be sharing that tomorrow night.
Great.
If you missed the financial report last night with Magic Mike, you should go check it out.
Check it out.
It was a good show, right, Kev?
Yeah, very good. Very good show. Good show.
Yep, absolutely. And I'd like all of our listeners and the Squaddy community to send a lot of love to our good friend James Johnston. James' mum was taken to hospital, and so we want to send all of our thoughts and our best wishes and our prayers to James and his family and positive energy. So, you know, James is a good lad, and we send all of our well wishes.
Soon, Mum.
Absolutely, definitely. All right, now we move on to the mixtape show. Tonight, it's side A. I wanted to tap into Super Kev and talk about this a little bit. Hear me out for one sec, Kev, right? As I present some information to you. Good evening, all Squaddies in the house, by the way. Forgot to mention you. You know, apologies for that. Welcome, everyone, all the usual suspects. We love you and thanks for joining. So, Kev, we have a young team and we have experienced players. And when I was thinking about tonight's show, I was thinking we have 14 cup finals left. Can we make top four if our experienced players play the way they did against Wolves? I think we can make top four. If they don't play the way they did against Wolves, I think we will struggle. Now, Emile Smith-Rowe's 21, Saka's 20, Rambo's 23, White's 24, Gabriel 24, Tierney 24, Nuno 22, Tommy 23, Sambi 22, Odie 23, Martinelli 20, and Eddie 22. Just wanted to read some ages out of some other players who are making waves in football right now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 23. Reece James, 22. Jude Bellingham, 18. Foden, 21. Mount, 23. Tammy Abraham, 23. Sancho, 21. Rice, 23. Vinicius from Real Madrid, 21. João Felix, 22. Pedri, 19. Mateus de Ligt, I can't believe he's still only 23. Seems like he's 30 already. And Haaland, 21. So before I move into the experienced players, because we will talk about the younger players on side B of the mixtape show, do you consider, with the other names I read, would you put White, Gabriel, Tierney into the experienced player bracket now?
No.
What, even though Tierney played in the Champions League with Celtic, has captained his team, you wouldn't put him?
No, he's a young player. He's a young player. He's still a young player. And how long's he been at Arsenal now? What is it? Two and a bit seasons? He's been at Arsenal 2 and a bit seasons, hasn't he? So, is he an experienced player? He's experienced up in Scotland and stuff like that, yeah, but experienced at Arsenal, no, he's just coming into it now. He's just becoming a experienced Premier League player.
Okay, but with that caveat, by the way, I'm not including Saliba right now, 33 fivers. By the way, I'm still waiting for you to send me money. We're not including Saliba. We're not including anyone who's out on loan, right? We're just utilising... This is for the rest of the season. We're playing with what we've got here, okay? Swedish Gooner says Tierney seasoned. Seasoned is experienced, in my opinion. So, Kev, I'm going to swing back to you. Mason Mount has won the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the World Club Championship, and he's 23. And he would be deemed an experienced player now, no? In that Chelsea team?
No, he's not. The experienced players are the older players, the likes of Kovacic and all those guys. Mason Mount he's been gaining experience, yes, but he's not classed as an experienced player. No chance. Although he's done so well at such a young age, he ain't one of the experienced players because there's players with a lot more experience than him. That's the point.
So is Haaland an experienced player? He could potentially become the most expensive player in the world. Is he not an experienced player?
No, he's not.
Does 60 appearances and 3 goals for Arsenal, as Lone Star says, get you the tag of experienced?
That's what I said. No, it doesn't.
Okay. Because I think modern day football's changed a little bit because players start a lot younger. For example, Jude Bellingham's 18. He's playing for England and he's playing for Borussia Dortmund and he's playing in Europe. And definitely I would say that that's young, right? Xhaka is 20 years old. That's young. I'm leaning towards White, Gabriel, Tierney at 24 years old, leaning more towards experienced players. Ben White helped Leeds come out of the Championship. He was very important at the back for Brighton. Gabriel did bits in Liga, of course. Tierney, as I said, I just think that at 24, is there a difference between leadership, seasoned, experienced? I don't know. I think at 24, I wanted to put them in the experience category when we talked about it tonight, but I wasn't sure, hence why I'm in a pickle.
You're asking me, so I'm telling you my thought. I don't think they're experienced. They've been at Arsenal for... Gabriel, for instance, been at Arsenal for what, 2 years? 2 seasons. Would you class him as experienced, Soph?
I think Gabriel, compared to our team, when we're putting the category and we're talking about Arsenal and for the rest of the season, I would say Gabriel goes into the experience category.
See, I wouldn't. Because not only experience isn't just playing games. Experience at a club like Arsenal is different because, you know, like the big games against the likes of City, what we played. We showed our inexperience. That shows you that we're not experienced. Because if you're an experienced team, that comes with a bit of maturity. And do the boys have some experience? Of course they do. Some of them have done great in their young ages. But having that maturity is different to playing games. And we just don't have it yet as individuals and as a team. Some have, but the majority are so young. Remember, we're the youngest side in the Premier League.
Okay, so let me ask you this one, which is good from Lone Star. Phil Foden's 21. He has 88 appearances, 22 goals, and 10 trophies. Is he experienced?
No, he's not. God, jeez. No matter how you spin it, does the trophies mean he's experienced? He's a young player.
Well, 88 games is quite a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's a young, but it's not 88 starts.
No, but he's I understand that.
No, but this is my point. 88 games isn't 88 starts. And Phil Foden has been helped along the way, rested at the right time, put in. So you've got to, they've done a fantastic job with him. But they're perennial winners. That football club has been put together to win. And he's part of it. He's got 4 Carabao Cups, 4 League Cups.
See, this is why I made this a mixtape. Because just like when you used to record, listen, there's some of you saying, why didn't you make it an MP3? Because I'm a Generation Xer, all right? And we dealt with cassette tapes. And every Sunday, and mostly, we'd sit there on the radio, Kev, trying to hit the record and play button. And you'd have a smorgasbord of different music. And I feel like we have a smorgasbord of different players that offer different things. For the first time in a long time, it's like we have our own little mixtape football team. We've got a lot of young players. We have some experienced players. But then there's this shade of grey in the middle where I feel like now I want to throw Ben White, Gabriel and Tierney into the experience side of the mixtape. So Kev disagrees with that. Let us know what you think. Let us know in the YouTube comments as well what you think. Terence says we've got a team of mild cheddar, only mature is Lacazette. Cassette tapes, talk 8 tracks. Well, I mean, how far?
That was even before, Suraj. Hey, by the way, Suraj, you told me lies. You told me about this was something else. Suraj, about the offside, and it wasn't offside, so I'm going to come in for you.
I love it. Someone wants to know, where did I have that? Kev, you are using age as a... I think he means, how are you using age as the measure? What's your measuring stick, Kev?
I'm not using age as a measuring stick. I'm using experience and maturity. Doesn't matter the age, remember?
So when Tony Adams was 23 at Arsenal, was he experienced?
No, he wasn't. But he was gaining experience. This is the difference. He was gaining experience. In order to become experienced, that we need, Soph, you have to go through the trenches, you have to go through the battles.
Okay, so one from... Do you consider Martin Odegaard as experienced?
Martin Odegaard is experienced to a point, but he's not Premier League experienced.
No, it's not about Premier League, it's about generally.
But he is experienced because he's an international player.
But he's younger than White, Gabriel and Tierney.
Yeah, but he's not a mature player. So he's experienced, but he's not mature.
Well, maturity can come... Tony Adams was mature enough to become Arsenal captain. John Terry was mature enough to become Arsenal captain. Steven Gerrard was mature enough to become Liverpool captain.
We need both. We're talking about Arsenal. We need both. We need both.
I think it's a really interesting conversation and debate here. Lone Star says Mount and Foden are inexperienced overall, but their experience of Champions League football and the final speak to a type of experience too. I agree.
That's what I said.
Raid says experiences combined with age and seasons played. You need to be an average of 3 to 4 seasons and 24 plus to say they have basic experience, 6+ seasons, and age above 26 is experience. So Steven Gerrard, when he was captain in Liverpool and he was like 21 and he had played already 100 and something games, is not experienced. 23 Fabregas, was he experienced at the time? We were leaning on him and building an entire team around him, Kev.
Just because he's good, because he's really good. He wasn't the most experienced player in the team, was he? That's the difference. So you get the talented players, and you look as if you're going to build something around them, etc. That's great, but for them to gain the experience and maturity that we need, because I can only look at what we need right now. We need players who, when we play against the big boys, know what to do. They know what to do at every moment, every turn, every twist. They know what to do. We'd have gained a lot from that Manchester City game, but that Manchester City game showed us up for our inexperience and immaturity. Because when you're mature and experienced, you don't make them mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with Stephen too. Tierney's 24, I think, not 23 anyway, but he's more mature than Ober.
They're getting there,
32.
for sure. Sophie, for sure. The likes of Tierney and stuff are getting there because why? They're playing the games back to back. They're going through a lot of the games against Liverpool, against Manchester City, all these, and the big games, the semi-final, 2 legs, all that sort of stuff gains you the experience. It really does.
G-Dog, do you think in a few years when Saka and Smith Rowe are experienced players, the next generation of youngsters will be looking up to them, but our squad will predominantly have experienced players again? Well, if this squad stays together,
that's what we want.
Ideally, that would be great. You know, familiarity breeds success. And how wonderful would it be for Emile Smith Rowe and Saka to be, 26, 27, and be the senior statesman of the side as other younger players are coming through? I mean, that's the dream, isn't it, Kev?
100%. 100%. We want these boys to have a 10-year career minimum at Arsenal. We want to see them develop and blossom into experienced, mature winners. Sophie, let's add winners to it. Because being experienced and mature but not winning anything ain't a good combo for us.
Okay, I'm kind of doing the side B a little bit tonight too. But Kev, what young player do you consider experienced now and in the past?
Young player experienced.
I mean, Fabregas is a really good example, I think, for Arsenal and Wilshere. I mean, they gained a lot of it. They were thrown the fire, Kev. Wilshere and Fabregas, weren't they?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're experienced. That means they're talented.
But they gained experience.
Yeah, but that's what these players are doing now. They've got to gain the experience.
We'll talk about that another day, Harvey. We'll table that. I'm going to star your question about the I'm going to do a transfer window special. So hold on to your question. When will xhaka be experienced? Demsek, you cheeky bugger, you. Okay, so Pedro.
It's maturity problem he's got.
Yeah, definitely.
He's got maturity problem.
Okay, say that again, Super Kev. First time Super Kev lost me. Experienced, not mature, not too old, too young, sounding like my manager's interviews. What do you have to say to Pedro, Kev?
Who says not? Well, look, the bottom line is this. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's about players gaining experience playing games, playing in the big games, and gaining maturity. And sometimes, though they've played the games, you see in the big games that they lack the maturity and the experience of the big games. Like the Manchester City game, like the Liverpool game at home. Little things like that show you that we're not quite there. And our experienced players, so-called, are the ones who are making mistakes.
So
that's not an experienced, mature player.
But I think Matthew brings up a good point. Mbappe's 23. He's won the World Cup, and is he not an experienced player at 23? And he's younger than White, Gabriel, and Tierney, same age as Odegaard.
Yeah, but he's played more football than them at the top level.
Tierney's played a lot of football.
No, but did you hear what I said? I said at the top level.
Yeah, but our team's not.
So you can't be as experienced as someone who's been playing at the top level.
Well, Tierney's played for.
Sophie,
it's not the same, but he's played in the Champions League.
Yeah, but
okay, what? But Odegaard play for Real Sociedad against players like Messi and Ronaldo.
Yeah, what does that mean, Sophie?
Ben White has played in the Premier League for two different teams.
Yeah, but Sophie, that doesn't mean they're mature or experienced.
No, it's not about mature, it's experience.
No, but it is. Experience is maturity as well.
So you agree that age plays a part?
No, age can play a part. But if you are young enough and you play at the level for a long enough stretch, then you've gained the experience.
So you said Foden is not an experienced player, but he's played in the Champions League.
Yeah,
he's won the Premier League.
He's
played at the Euros.
But he is not an experienced player.
But Mbappe is.
Mbappe is because he's been doing it a lot longer. Phil Foden hasn't been starting. Mbappe's a starter. That's a big difference.
All right, let's get to the experienced players then, and whether or not we can win the Premier League if they're not in form. We have Cedric, who is 30 years old. And we have, let's see, who do we have here? We have xhaka, who is 29. We have Leno, who's 29. We have El Neni, who I believe is 29. We have Lacazette, who is 30. And, of course, we have Nicola Pepe, who is 26. And Thomas Partey, who I mentioned, who is 28. Kev, even though Leno is not the starter, even though El Neni is not starting, how much does the experience that they have play a part in helping the team in the dressing room, in training, even if you're not starting? These are our most experienced players. How important are those who are playing versus those who are not?
They're all vital. The ones who play and who don't play, they're all vital in helping the less experienced players, the young players, to try and get over that line. Because I'm telling you, for these youngsters, what is it, 5 seasons? We haven't been into Champions League. For these youngsters to get all that pressure put on their shoulders, if we could really make that top 4, that is a huge milestone for them. 1, because they've achieved it. And 2, it will be they can achieve it being inexperienced. Imagine that. We've had Ozil, we've had all them, and they couldn't do it in years gone past as experienced players. If these youngsters could do it with the help of the experienced players have to play a big part now. Now we're coming down the last 14 games of the season. It's going to be key, real key. Their attitude, their mindset, their experience, helping, cajoling, talking to the youngsters, making sure they do things in the right and correct way. This is vital. Real important for our team. So whether they play or they don't, I think all of these experienced players and that culture is important.
Barry wants to know, Kev, as a young, inexperienced player, what were the important lessons the likes of Paul Davis gave you off the pitch and during a game?
Well, it's little tips. It depends what the game was, but off the pitch is to do things the right way, prepare correctly, train correctly, do your extra. All these little things that you pick up, nuances, they might spot something in your game that you don't spot. So they'll tell you about it, and you might want to put on they might want to put on a coaching session to show you. So, it's little things like that. It's so important.
There was one comment here from someone about, I wanted to circle back to it. Let's see, where is it? About Tony Adams, kind of, mentioned kind of what I did. Because so Adams was 22 and won 2 titles, 1 League Cup and 1 FA Cup, and had been captain for 4 years.
He's gained the experience then, hasn't he? He's gained the experience.
But you said he wasn't experienced.
Yeah, but he wasn't experienced, but he's gained the experience at 22. He's 22 years old. He's gained the experience, played in the big games, won titles, all of that. So from 22 years old, he knows what to do. Our players are not the same as Tony Adams.
Yeah, no, of course.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
that's like Mbappe.
Yeah, but okay.
Hold on. You're going at me, so let me speak.
Hardly. Haven't gone at you at all yet.
Let me answer. So you mentioned Mbappe. Mbappe has played the games. He's won the trophies. He's done it. Tony Adams has gained the experience, won the trophies, and done it.
But you said he wasn't experienced before when I asked you about Tony Adams.
Yeah, because he's gained the experience, Sophie. He gained the experience. He wasn't to start with, but you've got to gain it. Our players haven't gained it yet.
Right, but I think, like someone said, what counts? So Phil Foden has played in the Champions League final, the semi-final. He's won the Premier League. He's won the League Cup.
He hasn't started, Sophie.
He started a lot of those games, Kev.
He hasn't, Sophie. He has not.
He started a lot of games in the last year or so.
Last year or so. But Sophie, we're talking a stretch of 3 years, 4 years.
Okay, so if you're going to equate that, then Ben White is experienced, as is Gabriel, as is Tierney.
No, they've gained experience, but they're not as experienced as Atonia. They haven't played the high level of football that they've got the experience with maturity. That's what I said. I know what I'm talking about.
The dictionary says experience, having gained knowledge or skill in a particular field over time. So Tierney has, for me, my opinion is that over time he's become an experienced. I think people look at Tierney as an experienced player in our team.
Sophie, that's fine. But you're asking me, and I'm saying about experience, it needs the maturity as well.
Tierney's mature.
But when it comes down to it, Sophie, we do not do the mature things on the pitch.
So you're saying you have to win in order to have experience?
No, what I'm saying is you don't have to necessarily win, but you have to play in the big games at the high level. When you're at the high level, you could lose those games. Of course you can. But we show our immaturity when we play some of those big games. That's my point.
I think we show naivety, not so much immaturity. We have immature moments.
Is immaturity.
Well, there's a difference, isn't there, between immaturity and naivety?
Why?
Because you can still be experienced, but show some naivety in what you say or how you play or what you do. There are experienced CEOs who show naivety in how they handle customer service issues.
No,
you know what I mean?
Football, so we're talking about football.
Well, it's, application is everything, isn't it? Dependent on the industry you're in, but it's still relevant.
But it's not naive. If you're mature on a football pitch, you know what to do. You do not make the mistake. You don't make the mistake. Once you know how to win, you don't make those mistakes. Against Manchester City, if we were a mature side, we beat them.
Okay, is João Felix is 22, Atletico Madrid, João Felix, is he experienced?
He's gaining experience. He's not fully experienced yet. No.
Even though he's played at the didn't he win La Liga with
last season?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Phil Foden's won the league. He's not a starter, Sophie. These guys don't start. He started some games.
João Felix starts a lot of games for Atletico.
Sophie, I covered La Liga, my dear. He doesn't.
Oh, don't start with them, my dear.
No, but Sophie, I'm telling you, he don't. He doesn't. He doesn't start all the time. It was the front boy at top was Suarez. He was the main man.
Was Michael Owen experienced when he played in the 98 World Cup? This show's totally taken a different twist, by the way. I'm supposed to be talking about experienced players, but here's the caveat. The caveat is that I think White, Gabriel, and Tierney are experienced players.
Yeah, but I don't. So let's move on. What is it?
Well, I'll move on. Okay.
Yeah, but you're asking me a question that you think something. I don't agree. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Why are we going to Michael Owen? What's that?
Well, because everyone's curious as to how you're quantifying your thoughts, because you said earlier Adams was not experienced, but then you changed it to the fact he was when I showed you his accolades.
No. If you listen, I said he wasn't experienced, but he's gained the experience, Sophie. He's gained the experience. In order to gain the experience and be mature, you have to play and you have to win at a club like Arsenal, because it's Arsenal we're talking about, really, isn't it?
Well, okay, so Tierney won the FA Cup with Arsenal.
Yeah. What else?
I mean, the FA Cup, it's important. It's a trophy.
Saka's won an FA Cup.
Yeah, but Saka's 20. Tierney's 24.
So what? If you're saying because he's won an FA Cup that makes him experienced, then Saka must be experienced. Eddie must be experienced. Willock must be experienced.
Well, Pedro says experienced and mature. Partey, Laka, Ramsdale, Leno, Cedric, El Neni, Pepe, experienced. Emo, Saka, ESR, Gabby, Martinelli, White, Tommy, KT. Gaining experience in Ketier, other, xhaka. That's funny. You gain experience losing as well. This is so true, Matthew. Yeah. Winston, sure, he won the league and he's won trophies. I'm a fan. Paid good money to watch the game over the years. I've covered it for years and years and years. I have my opinion. This is what makes our show beautiful. Kev gives you the player perspective. I give you the journalist and the fan perspective. Okay? And I think Kieran Tierney is an experienced player now. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. Hey, that's your game of opinion, Sophie.
Yes, it is. All right, so let's finish on this so everyone can get out and watch the football. Good evening to all 200 of you in live chat. If you want to break, my neck, or if you want to break someone's neck, Kev will tell you. Maybe I'll just bring out the sword, but let's bring out Vinny. Hit that like button, people.
Hit the like button.
Absolutely. And we're going to be giving away some swag next week. We've got a new shop coming out with our merchandise. Wait till you guys see this stuff. It's very, very exciting. Okay, so Kev, out of all of our experienced players, look, who's he praying to right here, hey? Look at that. Out of all of our experienced players, and I'm going to throw Leno and El Neni in here because, like you said, behind the scenes, they play a massive, massive role in keeping up morale, keeping the team on their toes. Of course, we've got Thomas Partey, we've got Pepe as well, and our captain, Mr. Lacazette. And of course, let's not forget, our manager's been in some of these situations before as a player as well. And even though I think White and Gabriel and Tierney are experienced, we've got Cedric as well. Who are the most important players for you, Kev? We've talked about it a little bit before. We've shifted gears from Lacazette, even though he's not scoring goals, xhaka and Partey. The experience factor versus the importance factor might be different for you, but out of these players that I've mentioned, how can we finish fourth without them performing the way they did against Wolves every week?
No, we can't. We ain't good enough. We are not good enough. The ones who are starting, they're the ones you have to look at as they're the most important because they're actually starting. The starters have to perform, Sophie. we've seen against certain teams when a Saka or a Martinelli or whoever can't get going, we really do need the older players to step up. And when they do step up, like they did against Wolves, it was fantastic. It really was good. It really was good. But we may have to rely on a Pepe. We may have to rely on a El Neni in 1 or 2 games coming up. So them guys have to be ready. So again, I think it's all of them. It's all of them. We're going to have to lean on these guys. Just like we're going to have to lean on the defense, we're going to have to lean on these guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, you guys let us know. Tonight's show is going to be short and sweet. It's the mixtape side A. Can the Arsenal qualify, finish for top 4 with the experienced players? And in terms of how they play, is it so important for them to play these 14 cup finals like they played against Wolves? If they don't do that, can we qualify and finish in that top 4? We can't be too reliant, as Kev said in previous shows as well, on our youngsters. But to me, as I've said, the youngsters, and they quantify as Gabriel and White and Tierney and Odegaard, I still think they bring experience to the table that helps the Martinellis, the Emil Smith-Rowes, the Sakas, and the Eddies as well. So why don't you let us know what you think? Throw it into the YouTube comment show thread. Don't forget... you can always comment and we'll read out your comments. We're going to do that as well. And the reason why I mentioned that too is don't forget, like Trent Alexander-Arnold's 23, Reece James 22, Foden 21, Mount 23, Tammy Abraham 24, Jadon Sancho 21, Declan Rice 23, Haaland is 21, played at the top level in Europe and the most sought after player in the world. So, you know, that's why I asked about the experienced players. And how do we quantify our players that are in that mid-range age, whether or not they fall into that category? I think they're just as important as xhaka and just as important as Thomas Partey as well, Kev. Without Tierney playing well, without Ben White and Gabriel and that partnership, without Odegaard pulling the strings in midfield, you know, I don't think we can do it. I think it's going to be a collective. But those experienced players have to kind of drag them through at some point, especially when we're having bad games. We need to be able to rely on them as well. So let us know what you think. I'm going to get you out of here so you can go watch the football. Going to get Kev out of here so he can go watch his son play. Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira's Palace playing Super Kev, Tyrese Campbell's Stoke. Is it still 0-0, Kev?
No, it's just come up 1-0 Palace.
Oh,
just
boy.
come up, so on my phone. Thanks a lot, Soph. Listen, squaddies, I'm out.
Kev's got to be out. As you can see, Kev might be elsewhere tonight.
Oh my God! Listen, yeah, 1-0. Check. Is it Kayate? Kayate scored for Palace. It's just come up on my phone.
It's a short one tonight. It may have been a little all over the place, but hey, mixtape side A. That's why it's mixed. The opinions and the comments.
You remember you used to put the paper in the top. You remember when you used to pop the top? You used to put the paper so you could record again. Listen, I'll see you again on Thursday. Look after yourself, squaddies. At ease. Love you lots. Take care. Bye.
I'll see you tomorrow night, kids. Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. That was special.